As we're trying to learn how to hand code our websites from scratch using HTML and CSS, again, you can use any software that'll work. So you can use something as basic as Notepad on a PC or TextEdit on a Mac, or free tools that you can download such as Notepad++ for PC or Text Wrangler for Mac. But for me personally, I like to work with Dreamweaver. Now, it is an option that will cost you a monthly fee. So if you don't like this option, you can definitely stick with the free and basic editors, but I prefer Dreamweaver because it has a lot of different options. But before we actually get into learning HTML basics, there are a couple Dreamweaver settings that I change that I'm going to let you know about. Now you can choose whether you want to use these or not, but these are things that I feel helps me be a little bit more efficient. Now when I'm in Dreamweaver, the first time I open it, there's usually a welcome screen, but I've already closed that, so you can close that out. Just know that that welcome screen is helpful for you to be able to click on pages that you've already started, or there's a lot of different tips and tutorials that'll help you get the most out of Dreamweaver. Right now I'm working in the extract workspace. This is great if you have a web design already built in Photoshop and you want to be able to extract it and piece it together in Dreamweaver. But that's not what we're going to do because, again, we are hand coding. So let's go ahead and go to the window menu, go to Workspace Layout. And again, there are 3 different workspace layouts that come with Dreamweaver as of this date. There's a code layout that's very simple and it has 2 panels, files and snippets. This allows you to kind of get rid of all the clutter and just code. So this would normally be a great layout for hand coding, but I actually prefer the design workspace because it has a few more panels that we're going to eventually get to, such as the CSS panel when we start working with styles, or assets if we want to find images quickly, links quickly, etc. And then also this insert panel that helps us to work more efficiently by quickly and easily being able to insert different elements into our page. Now for me personally, I like to move this insert panel to the very top. You can see the blue drop bar. So I'll go ahead and drop it there. You can open whatever panels you want from the window menu and put them wherever you want in your workspace. And once you do that, you can come in here and choose New Workspace and name that workspace so you can easily access it later. Now you don't always have to go to the window panel. You can come to this workspace drop-down menu and I can go through the 3 main workspaces, or I can always come back to the custom workspace that I just created. In addition, you can always reset a workspace if you need to. So that is my preference in terms of workspace. I like to have my columns on the right, my insert panel on the top, and then I like to be able to see my document kind of on the left side of the screen. Now, let's go ahead and go to File, New, create a new HTML file, HTML5. We don't need to worry about that right now just because I want to use this to change some settings. So once we have this open, again, this is totally up to you, but I don't like working with the code on the bottom of the screen and the live view on the top. I like having both views showing, and in later versions of Dreamweaver like I'm in now, you either have the option to do straight code view, or you can do a split, or you can choose design and live view, but you can't just have design by itself. So anyway, let's go ahead and change that back to live for right now. My preference is to actually have these 2 windows sitting side by side vertically. So we'll go to View and choose Split Vertically. And then you can choose whether you want to have the code on the right or the left. I'm used to it being on the left, so I'm going to go ahead and uncheck Live View on the left. So now I have my code on the left and my live or design view on the right, and then all of my columns over here. And this is the way that I prefer to work. Another thing you might consider is going into the preferences for Dreamweaver and looking through all the different options of things you can do. So for instance, in my fonts, I can change the code view from small font size to maybe a larger or largest or huge sizes. And this is going to be easier for you to see in these tutorial videos and just easier for me to work with. So go ahead and go through a couple of those options and see if you can get it the way you like it. And I actually want to change that to 14. And that's a lot better in my opinion. So I'll close that, and this is ready for me to start hand coding my website.